And a long-distance dedication from Jamie in Virginia to her inspiration and friend, Laura. Up next, our highest debuting song of the week.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
We're counting down the most popular songs in the USA, and leaping onto the survey all the way up here at number 29 is this week's highest debut. It's the first hit by the group Sixpence, None the Richer. According to one magazine review, quote, "The heart of Sixpence remains songwriter-guitarist Matt Slocum's literate, pensive songs and lead vocalist Leigh Nash's ethereal delivery. She distinguishes herself with an edge of soulful passion." Unquote. Here's Sixpence None the Richer with Kiss Me.
America's Top Hits.
1 year ago this week, one of the top hits in the USA was There She Goes by a band whose record label went out of business after putting out their first 2 albums. They say that was the luckiest break they ever got. I'll have details and that top hit after this. These are the 40 biggest hits in the nation, and we're counting them down. Now we're up to the latest hit for Sixpence None the Richer, a band whose female lead singer describes her fashion style as, quote, bargain. Unlike divas Celine Dion and Mariah Carey, who live to shop, Leigh Nash says the only shopping she does is for necessities, a few changes of clothing when she's going on the road. And the shopping she does do isn't at upscale boutiques. Instead, she loves stores where bargain is the name of the game. She says, quote, "I buy a lot of my clothes at TJ Maxx. They have the cutest little shirts and great bargains. I like bargains. If something is really cheap, I'll buy it even if I just kind of like it." Well, now that Leigh lives in Nashville, she does most of her shopping in town. She says there are some pretty good thrift stores. And her favorite clothing item is an old coat that she bought at a vintage clothing store. The coat came with a ripped pocket. But she's not going to fix it. She says it's part of the coat's charm. That's Leigh Nash's clothing style. Now, here's her singing style. Moving up a notch to number 21 on AT40, this is There She Goes by Sixpence None the Richer.
America's Top Hits.
1 year ago this week, one of the top hits in the USA was by a band whose record label went out of business after putting out their first 2 albums. They say that was the luckiest break they ever got. It was back in 1997. The group called Sixpence None the Richer was signed to a small contemporary Christian label called REX Records. The good news was that they had a record deal. The bad news was that their label had no interest in pop music. As lead singer Leigh Nash says, quote, "There weren't any options to push us into the mainstream." The group felt stuck. And then they learned that the label was going under, which meant that they could shop around for another label, one that might give them a chance with a wider audience. They wound up being the first act signed to a brand new label called Squint Records. Squint was also a Christian music company, but its founder was interested in moving into the world of pop as well. And that's exactly what they managed to do. 1 year ago this week, Sixpence None the Richer had one of the top hits in the USA. Here's There She Goes.
The hits from coast to coast.
I'm Casey Kasem. We're counting down the most listened to songs in the land. 8 years ago, back in 1999, this was one of the most listened to songs. It's by Sixpence None the Richer, a band that broke up back in 2004. Since then, lead singer Leigh Nash has gone solo, and guitar player Matt Slocum formed a band called Astronaut Pushers. From 1999, Sixpence None the Richer and Kiss Me. I'm Casey Kasem. Now on with the survey.